Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. and Mrs. Oxford, the podcast that helps you speak English the way real people actually speak it. I'm JD.
And I'm Hazel. And if you're new here, welcome. We're a married couple, both native English speakers, and we genuinely love helping people get comfortable with the language.
So last week we talked about workplace English. Meetings, emails, corporate buzzwords, all that fun stuff.
And I say fun very loosely.
Very loosely. We had a lot of people messaging us saying, "Oh my goodness, I say synergy now, and I can't stop."
It gets into your head. It really does. You start leveraging things left and right.
You're leveraging your breakfast.
I leveraged my coffee this morning, yes.
Anyway, today we're moving into something that native speakers use absolutely constantly, and it trips learners up all the time.
Idioms.
Idioms. And the key word in our episode title is in context. Because the problem with idioms isn't usually that people don't know them. It's that they don't know when to use them, when not to use them, and what they actually feel like in a real conversation.
Exactly. You can memorize a list of 100 idioms and still sound completely unnatural if you drop them in the wrong moment.
So today, we're not giving you a list. We're giving you idioms with their full story. The meaning, the feeling, the situation, and a little example so you can really picture it.
We've picked 6 idioms, 6 really useful ones that come up all the time in everyday conversation.
And we're going to show you how they actually live in the wild.
In the wild, like idioms are animals.
Well, they kind of are. They're unpredictable, and sometimes they bite.
All right, let's start with number 1. And this one is so common. Bite off more than you can chew.
Bite off more than you can chew. So literally, imagine someone taking a huge bite of a sandwich, way too big, and now they can't chew it. It's just there.
Which is not a good look.
Not a great look, no. But figuratively, it means you've taken on more responsibility, more work, or more of a challenge than you're actually able to handle.
So for example, imagine someone at work volunteers to organize the entire company Christmas party, lead a new project team, and cover for a colleague who's on holiday, all at the same time.
Classic case of biting off more than you can chew.
And you might hear a friend say, "I think you've bitten off a bit more than you can chew there, haven't you?"
Notice the tone. It's not mean. It's caring usually. Like a gentle warning from someone who's worried about you.
You could also use it about yourself. "I think I've bitten off more than I can chew with this." That's very natural. It's almost like admitting you misjudged the situation.
And that's important. The feeling of this idiom is not judgmental. It's more like a realistic observation.
Right. You can say it about yourself, about a friend, about a company. The company definitely bit off more than they could chew when they tried to expand into 6 new markets at once.
Totally natural. Okay, number 2. And this one I feel like comes up in almost every conversation about decisions or difficult situations.
Hit the nail on the head.
Hit the nail on the head. So the image here is hammering a nail. And if you hit it exactly right, directly on top, it goes in cleanly and perfectly.
And if you miss, which JD does occasionally,
I hit my thumb once.
it was twice.
Moving on. So hitting the nail on the head means you've described something exactly right. You've identified the precise problem, or said exactly the right thing to capture a situation.
So imagine you're in a meeting and someone has been going around in circles, trying to explain why a project isn't working. And then someone else just says one sentence, and suddenly everyone goes, "Yes, that's it. That's exactly it."
You'd say, "You've hit the nail on the head there."
Or just, "That's it exactly. You've hit the nail on the head."
It's a positive idiom. It's a compliment. You're saying, "Well done, you nailed it." Which is actually where "you nailed it" comes from as well.
Oh, that's a nice connection, actually. You nailed it, and you hit the nail on the head are cousins.
Idiom cousins.
Is that a thing?
It is now. Okay, number 3. And this one is really useful for anyone who's learning English, because it comes up so often in casual conversation.
Under the weather.
Under the weather. This one means feeling unwell, feeling sick, but usually not dramatically ill. It's for that in-between state where you're not fine, but you're not in hospital either.
Like a Wednesday kind of sick.
Exactly like a Wednesday kind of sick, a bit achy, a bit tired, maybe a headache. That's under the weather territory.
And what's nice about this idiom is it's very soft and polite. If someone cancels plans and says, "I'm feeling a bit under the weather," it doesn't sound dramatic. It doesn't sound like they're making excuses. It just sounds honest and considerate.
You'd use it in emails a lot, actually. I'm afraid I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so I won't be able to make the meeting. Very natural, very professional.
And in conversation, "Are you all right? You seem a bit quiet." "Yeah, I'm just a bit under the weather. Nothing serious."
The nothing serious part is important, because under the weather implies it's mild. If you say, "I'm really under the weather," that works too. But typically, it's still on the moderate end of not feeling well.
Right. You wouldn't use it for something serious. You'd say you're ill or unwell or not well at all. But under the weather has that gentle, temporary feeling to it.
Good. Number 4. And this one is brilliant for describing someone's personality or for a compliment.
A heart of gold.
A heart of gold. So gold, right? We all know gold is precious. It's valuable. It's pure. And so someone who has a heart of gold is genuinely kind, generous, warm. They truly care about other people.
And what I love about this idiom is you often hear it paired with a contrast, like someone who doesn't look particularly friendly, or who maybe seems a bit rough around the edges, but is actually incredibly kind.
He looks a bit grumpy, but honestly, he's got a heart of gold.
Or, she's always complaining about everything, but when you really need someone, she's there. She's got a heart of gold.
It's warm. It's one of those idioms that just feels good to say about someone.
And it can also come with a little affectionate exasperation, like, "Oh, he'd give you the shirt off his back. Absolute heart of gold, that man."
Which is actually 2 idioms in one sentence right there.
Extra points.
Give you the shirt off his back means someone is so generous, they'd give you literally everything, even things they need themselves.
We didn't plan to do that one, but there it is, a free bonus idiom.
A bonus idiom. You're welcome. Okay, number 5. And this one is about procrastination, which honestly feels like it was made for podcasters.
Burn your bridges.
Or don't burn your bridges, because this one usually comes as advice or a warning.
Right. So the image is, imagine you're crossing a bridge to get somewhere, and once you're on the other side, you burn it down. You can never go back.
And figuratively, burning your bridges means permanently damaging a relationship or a situation so that you can never return to it. You've closed that door permanently, and usually in a bad way.
So classic examples. Leaving a job. If you leave in a terrible way, shouting at your manager, sending an angry email to the whole company, you've burned your bridges.
Even if you hated that job.
Even if you really, really hated that job. Because you might need a reference one day. You might cross paths with those people again. Industries are small.
So the advice is usually, don't burn your bridges. Even when a situation ends badly, try to leave with some dignity.
And you'll hear it as a description too. I think he burned his bridges with that company when he left. Meaning, he can't go back there. And it was his own doing.
Or as a question almost. Are you sure you want to do that? You don't want to burn your bridges.
It's a cautionary idiom. It's someone being wise on your behalf.
I like that. A cautionary idiom. Okay, and number 6. And this is one of my personal favorites because it comes up in everyday conversation so naturally.
On the fence.
On the fence. So imagine a fence between 2 fields, and you're sitting right on top of it, not in either field. You haven't chosen a side.
Being on the fence means you're undecided. You haven't made up your mind. You can see both sides of something, and you're not sure which way to go.
And this is such a useful one, because decisions come up in every single conversation. Are you going to take the new job? I'm still on the fence about it.
Did you like the film? Honestly, I'm a bit on the fence. Some parts were great, but I'm not sure about the ending.
It's also used in a slightly more serious context. Political opinions, big decisions. She's still on the fence about whether to move abroad.
And you can use it with a judgment. You can't stay on the fence forever. You're going to have to make a decision.
Which is something Hazel has said to me many, many times.
Only about paint colors. We spent 4 months deciding on paint colors.
I was on the fence about the gray.
He was on the fence about 17 different shades of gray.
They're all different. Anyway, 6 idioms. Let's do a quick recap.
Bite off more than you can chew. Taking on more than you can handle.
Hit the nail on the head, describing something exactly right.
Under the weather. Feeling mildly unwell.
A heart of gold. A genuinely kind and generous person.
Burn your bridges. Permanently damaging a relationship or opportunity.
And on the fence. Being undecided. Not having chosen a side yet.
6 idioms with context, with feeling, with examples. Not just definitions.
Now, your weekly challenge. And this one is a little different.
We want you to pick just one of these 6 idioms. Just one.
And this week, find a real moment to use it. In a conversation, in a message to a friend, in an email, anywhere.
Not forced. Wait for a genuine moment where it fits naturally. And when you use it, notice how the other person reacts.
That reaction tells you a lot. If they respond naturally and the conversation keeps flowing, you got it. You used it right.
And if you want to share it, drop it in the comments. Tell us which idiom you chose and where you used it. We read every single comment.
Every single one.
We do, and we love hearing about your real-life English moments.
If you've been enjoying Mr. and Mrs. Oxford, please subscribe. It genuinely makes a huge difference for us, and it means you'll never miss an episode.
And if you want to help someone else on their English journey, share this episode. Just send it to one person who's learning English. That's it. One person.
All right. Next week, we're opening up something a little different. You know how sometimes you come across an English sentence and you think, wait, why does it work that way? Like, why do native speakers say, I'm going to the doctor, but I'm going to hospital? Why is the just gone?
Articles. We're talking about articles. And before you groan, we promise this is not a grammar lesson. It's more like a behind-the-scenes look at why native speakers make the choices they make without even thinking about it.
The secret rules that nobody teaches you.
The ones you absorb when you grow up speaking English. And the ones we're going to hand directly to you.
That's next week on Mr. and Mrs. Oxford. We'll see you then.
Take care of yourselves.
And keep speaking.